to your Disney News segment. I am Zach of the Disney Magic Variety, and welcome to your Disney News. We've got a lot to cover. It's been a while since we've done a Disney News segment, so I thought we'd do it together. There's a lot to go through. A lot has been happening, and I'm going to bring you the most important parts. Of course, I will leave all my links down below that I've used here today, so you can check it out and anything else that tickles your fancy. But we are going to be using a variety of sources. I'm going to bring it through to you today. First one we're going to look at very recent news. Hurricane Idalia has swept over the Floridian coast and has caused some damage in Madison County. Thankfully, Disney World and the Orlando surrounding area was not damaged, and the parks were still open regardless of the hurricane passing through. It just seemed to be some heavy rainfall, some gusts of winds, and nothing really happened in the Orlando area. The storm stayed cleared off the coast as it passed by early yesterday. This was August 31st, so a couple of days. In terms of impact on the theme parks, there was no notable damage, and the theme parks remained open without the need to adjust operating hours. That said, there were smaller crowds during a rainy and sometimes gusty day yesterday. This morning, Disney removed a note about the Typhoon Lagoon water park and mini golf course being closed on August the 30th, leaving the storm policy in place for guests who have been impacted by Hurricane Idalia. Disney World will also remove notices about Idalia from its website and My Disney Experience app. And here's the latest from Disney World here. So the weather updates and information. Walt Disney World Resort is currently operating under normal conditions. At this time, change and cancellation fees imposed by Disney will be waived for check-in dates of August 28th through September 5th. Guests currently staying at our Disney Resort hotels whose travel plans have been impacted by the storm may receive a discounted rate to extend their stay through the evenings of August 31st if needed by visiting the front desk. Evacuees and first responders support Florida residents evacuating from the storm. First responders assisting in storm-related recovery effects. They also receive 50% off Disney Resort hotel stays on the evenings of August 29th through the 31st, 2023. Overall, Hurricane Idalia missed the Orlando area, and it looked reasonable. No notable damage. Nothing really. It mainly hit the further up of the areas. So I hope everyone in that area is okay. And yeah, it's hurricanes are never a fun thing. So thank goodness everyone that I know of is okay. But yeah, moving on to the next thing we have. Disney Arcana has recently come out. The trading card game available at Shop Disney retailers on September 1st. Now, they did a pre-release on August the 18th where you could buy early access to pre-order into pre-sale. Now, I wasn't lucky enough because I didn't know this was a thing. So, starting September 1st, Disney Arcana, the first chapter, the highly anticipated collectible trading card game, will be available at Shop Disney retailers. We have an early peek at the fun for Disney Park blog of readers. So basically, Disney Arcana is a trading card game where you get to, if you're familiar with trading card games, TCGs, it plays a little bit like Magic and a little bit like Pokemon from what I have seen. I'm super excited to give it a go, and I will give you a full review when I get a chance to play it. But at this moment in time, everywhere I've looked around near me is currently sold out, so I am keeping my eyes out, keep my fingers crossed, keep my toes crossed as well, to make sure that I can grab some and play it and review it for y'all. Other than that, Disney Arcana looks very, very fun. I'm super excited. If you have got it, let me know down in the comments. Are you excited? Does it look good? Have you enjoyed it so far? Did you play any of those rare alternate cards? Because they look dope. They look really cool. They look really cool. Moving on to a little bit of Disneyland news. The Haunted Mansion is getting a grounds expansion retail shop coming to Disneyland Resort in 2024. So the stately grounds of the Haunted Mansion will expand with a spirited metamorphosis at Disneyland Resort next year. In 2024, the additions will build on the story and lore of the Haunted Mansion and include an expanded outdoor queue to immerse guests in enhanced theming, as well as a new retail shop adjacent to the attraction's exit. Local legend suggests the manor known today as the Haunted Mansion was first built by a prosperous sea captain. To this day, the mansion staff faithfully maintains the happy haunting grounds. The expanded queue will tie into these stories and more, including new gardens inspired by Master Gracie, Madame Leota, and the One-Eyed Cat. The concept art for this looks gorgeous. It looks so pretty. And I'm finally glad that Disneyland are having a bit of an update to their Haunted Mansion, because their extended queue wasn't the greatest, I've heard. But if you want more information on this, I will leave Offhand Disney's video down below for you. Dallin did a really good cover of this. He just recently did a good in-depth look at this. And obviously he is the master of the Haunted Mansion. He knows the lore like the back of his hand. He is your go-to guy. So I'll leave his video down below for you, and you can go and check that out. But yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks really, really fun. It looks really, really good. I'm super, super excited to see that, and hopefully one day go and experience the original Haunted Mansion. Moving on to Tokyo Disney Resort. Fantasy Springs attraction names and details revealed. For Tangled, Frozen, and Peter Pan attraction names, we're excited to share the names of the all-new Tangled, Frozen, and Peter Pan attractions. Restaurants, lobby lounge, and gift shop coming to Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disney Resort in the spring of 2024. Themed to Magical Springs leading to a world of Disney fantasy, the 8th theme port of Tokyo Disney Sea will feature 3 incredible areas: Rapunzel's Forest, Peter Pan's Neverland, and Frozen Kingdom, inspired by the beloved Walt Disney Animation Studios films. So sail away to the Lantern Festival with Rapunzel. I believe this is a ride. The tower stands in Rapunzel's Forest, where the long-haired Princess Rapunzel has lived since she was a child. Here you can experience Rapunzel's best day ever on Rapunzel's Lantern Festival attraction, where Rapunzel falls in love with Flynn Rider on a romantic boat ride to the annual Lantern Festival. When a hungry stomach comes calling after this love-filled adventure, enjoy a meal at the Snuggly Duckling restaurant. Yo! Reminiscent of the establishment by the same name in the film, in a variety of the atmospheric dining areas. Yo, have they got any concept art on that? Adventure awaits on 2 Peter Pan themed attractions. So have they got like Skull Rock? Yeah, Skull Rock's there. The Jolly Roger. Yo, this looks sick. This looks so good. Adventure awaits at Peter Pan's Neverland, where guests can explore a pirate ship, dine in a secret hideaway, or encounter pirates. Experience Peter Pan's Neverland adventure, join the Lost Kids as they explore Neverland with Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, as well as help rescue John from Captain Hook. Elsewhere, guests can help Tinkerbell deliver parcels and packages to the 4 seasonal areas of the Pixie Hollow on the Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies attraction. That's a mouthful. Try and say that 5 times fast. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Fairy Tinkerbell's Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Man, that is a mouthful, bro. Wow. Should we just call it what it is? The FTBBBB? FTBBB. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Dine like the Lost Kids at Lookout Cookout, which is also their hideout. Made from found objects and shipwreck parts, not only can you enjoy delicious food, but also beautiful views of Neverland. And discover the true love of family on Anna and Elsa's Frozen journey. So after the events of Frozen Kingdom is a place of happiness where Queen Elsa has embraced her ice magic. During Anna and Elsa's Frozen journey, relive the tale of 2 sisters and how they discovered that true love can thaw a frozen heart, alongside fan favourite songs from the film. At Royal Banquet of Arundel restaurant, you will find both an indoor and a covered outdoor dining area with beautiful views of the fjord, cliffs and mountains in the distance. In need of a snack? Oaken, the owner of the cabin and sauna featured in the film, has you covered at Oaken's OK Foods. Yo, Oaken's going to be there. Hello, yoo-hoo, because my blowout. Banging, that is actually really cool. Then the concept art for all of these look gorgeous. And Tokyo Disney Fantasy Springs Hotel is right next door, where 2 dining options and a lobby lounge await. Fantasy Springs Restaurant is perfect for those who crave a wide variety of options with buffet-style dining. Here you will even find painting inspired by the Disney animated films Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Tangled and Sleeping Beauty. Not only does La Libellule offer special French cuisine, you'll find views of the scenery in Fantasy Springs from the dining hall too. For a lot more laid-back atmosphere, head over to the Grand Palais Lounge, a lobby lounge with large open windows. And before heading home, the Fantasy Springs Gifts merchandise store is a perfect place to buy gifts for friends and family and to serve the memento of your magical visit. The concept art and this all sounds beautiful. It sounds gorgeous. The Tokyo Disney Sea always looks wonderful, and this looks like a fantastic edition. So I'm super excited to do that, and hopefully one day visit Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea as well. Soon. It is on my bucket list. It is on my bucket list. Okay. Moving on to a little bit of a political kind of side of Disney. Disney changes gears in suits against DeSantis and allies. So this is more specifically for Disney World. Disney and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's running for president, have been sparring for more than a year over a special tax district that encompasses Disney World. Can we move that, please? Governor Ron DeSantis is at a campaign event. Last month, he called on Disney to drop its federal lawsuit. After a setback, Disney has changed its legal strategy in Florida, where the company is battling Governor Ron DeSantis and his allies in court for control over Disney World's growth plan. Disney is not, however, heeding Mr. DeSantis' recent call to drop the lawsuit. Instead, on Friday, it pushed back on 2 fronts, narrowing the scope of its federal case focused on the charge that Mr. DeSantis and his allies violated its First Amendment rights and threatening new suits to gain access to public records. Disney and DeSantis, who is running for president, have been sparring for more than a year over a special tax district that encompasses Disney World. Angered over Disney's criticism of a Florida education law, DeSantis took over the tax district, appointed a new board, and ended the company's long-held ability to self-govern its 25,000-acre resort as if it were a country. Before the takeover took effect, however, Disney signed contracts to lock in development plans worth some $17 billion over the next decade. An effort by Mr. DeSantis and his allies to avoid the contracts resulted in dueling lawsuits with Disney suing Mr. DeSantis and the tax district in federal court and new appointees returning fire in the state court. And the state judge Margaret Schreiber dealt Disney an early setback in July. She denied its motion to dismiss the countersuit, ruling that Disney could not shut down the state case and focus on the overlapping federal one. She also refused to put the state case on hold until the federal lawsuit was decided. On August 14th, Mr. DeSantis told CNBC that Disney should drop the federal lawsuit. They're going to lose, he said. Let's move forward. Rather than retreating, Disney's changing gears, essentially conceding that it will have to simultaneously wage 2 court battles. And on Friday, the company filed a motion to amend its multi-part federal complaint, which is pending before Judge Alan Windsor in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida in Tallahassee. The amendment will remove parts of its complaint specifically related to the validity of the development contracts, which is what the state case covers, while leaving intact Disney's core accusation that Mr. DeSantis and his allies violated the company's First Amendment rights with a targeted campaign of government retaliation. Mr. DeSantis moved to take over the Disney World tax district after Disney criticised parental rights and education law, which opponents label "Don't Say Gay," and which prohibits classroom discussions of sexual orientation and gender identity for students through the 3rd grade. The DeSantis administration later expanded the ban through grade 12. Disney Motion said it was seeking to amend the federal complaint in order to spare inefficiency of litigating contract validity simultaneously in 2 forums. Later on Friday, Judge Windsor denied Disney Motion to amend the complaint, citing a procedural flaw. The rules require the company to firstly confer with the defendants after the amendment. The judge said if there is an objection, Disney may then refile the motion. If there is no objection, no motion is necessary for the amendment. And it just goes on a little bit. It does go on a little bit. So essentially, it's a waging battle. It is a waging battle of DeSantis and Disney, because Disney World, for the longest part, it's 25,000 acres. They were classing it as a country, as its own place. It wasn't, because it Disney World, it was outside of all of that. Essentially, from the look of it, they weren't paying the state taxes because they were saying that it's its own country. It wasn't part of the state at that point. DeSantis is fighting back with that, and a lot of this has been going on for quite a while. Disney has requested all documents and communications, including but not limited to text messages, signal messages, and WhatsApp messages on any devices with the keywords Disney or mouse, among any others, according to the letter. A spokesman for the governor's office has no immediate comment. So it looks like this is going to go on for a while. I think there is a court case on September 6th. This week Disney sent letters to the governor's office and its other state entities saying the company would sue each under Florida's Public Records Act unless the requested materials were made available by September the 6th. So Disney are looking to sue if they don't get any files before September 6th. It is currently, of recording this, it is September the 2nd. Vladimir Putin was on my screen for a second, and we don't want that. So it looks like this is going to be going on. If it's something you are interested in, I'll keep you up to date. This is from the New York Times, so it is very, very interesting to see what happens here. And another thing Disney are going with. Another thing, oh my gosh. Again, from the New York Times, Charter and Disney are fighting, and what it means for you guys in the US for using ESPN and Fox. Meta negotiation between the cable giant Charter Communications and the Walt Disney Company, which owns channels including ESPN and FX, prompted Charter on Friday to proclaim that the business model for cable TV was fundamentally broken. The tussle means that millions of Americans will not be able to watch US Open Tennis Championship or college football games on Spectrum, Charter's cable TV service, this Labor Day weekend. It also has far-reaching implications for the broader media industry. Billions of dollars and hours of quality TV time are at stake in the dispute, which threatens to drag on indefinitely, pushing viewers to seek alternatives to cable TV. So, what's happening here? What does this mean? On its surface, the quarrel is about how much Disney can charge Charter for its content, and how much Charter's customers will pay for access to Disney's streaming apps, which is Disney Plus and Hulu, I believe, and ESPN. So that all in the States, that all comes together. Now in the UK, we don't have that. We have Disney Plus, and something called Star, which is like the English or the European version of Hulu, I believe. You guys have Hulu and ESPN in one package. Charter controls ESPN and Hulu because I don't think Disney fully owns ESPN and Hulu. So Charter and Disney are two of the biggest players in the cable and TV industries, and they disagree over the best way to distribute movies and TV shows in an area where traditional viewership is eroding and streaming is on the rise. So it must be just for cable. I think it's just cable there, rather than Disney Plus. But they still own a certain percentage of the cable that Charter used to showcase all of this. How common are these agreements? I mean, fights between cable companies and content providers happen all the time. Media companies like Disney in general want to charge more for their content, and cable providers like Charter are trying to minimise their costs at a time of declining subscribers. Until an agreement is reached, TV channels often go dark on cable and satellite TV providers for days or weeks at a time, and frustrating viewers who believe they are not getting their money's worth. Again, it's just kind of standard stuff. Disney responded by firing back on Charter on Friday, blaming the cable company for refusing to enter a new agreement that reflects market-based terms. Disney also said in a statement that it has spent billions of dollars on its streaming service, which include Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, and Charter wanted to give them away to its subscribers free of charge. Charter's actions are a disservice to consumers ahead of the kickoff of the college football season on ABC and ESPN's networks, Disney said in a statement. So it looks like Charter is wanting to, make it a little bit cheaper for them. And Disney, being the global conglomerate that they are, want to make more money. I mean, two sides on one coin, isn't it? It's like, do you want it to be cheaper and have cable more accessible, or do you want to charge a bit more and have people use your service to watch it on ESPN Plus? Because you can watch, I'm pretty sure you can watch live sports on ESPN Plus. Again, we don't have it over here, so please let me know if you all have it in the comments. But yeah, another thing about ESPN and ABC. Spectrum seems to be owning another one as well. Some of them lose ESPN and ABC. Here's what's going on between Disney and Spectrum. So Spectrum is, I think, is another one that Charter have agreed that use. Spectrum, yeah, behind the Spectrum brand, yeah. So ESPN is going dark, and so is ABC from the look of it. So, I mean, it's one of those. It is two sides of one coin from the look of it, from what I can see. Personally, from what I can see. And I hope they come to some sort of agreement because, it's Labor Day weekend or it's just gone. So I don't want y'all missing any of that. I hope you all had a wonderful Labor Day weekend and you're all safe from the hurricane if you was in the area. But yeah, a lot has happened in terms of the area, in terms of Disney. The parks look amazing around the world. Mickey's Not So Scary is currently going on in Disney World in August. Starting in August, it's now September, so happy September. Hope you're all doing fantastic. I hope this month is amazing for you because you are amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much everything in terms of the news and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, I hope I brought you the best. Like I say, I will leave all the links below that I use down in the description in case you want to check out some of the icons for yourself, or if there is any updates that I have missed. Please be sure to let me know. And yeah, thank you all so much. I'll catch y'all real soon with a brand new video and a brand new news segment somewhat very soon. I don't know when this happens. Maybe once a month or so if something really interesting happens. But yeah, thank you all so much. Much love. Bye.